Alright guys, so listen up. This episode is gonna be a bit of a doozy, alright? You guys know I like covering console anniversaries and video game anniversaries a lot. But this year, it's different. There are 5 major console anniversaries happening this year. 5 of them, alright? So you're probably thinking, oh, RBD Guy, oh, you're probably just gonna cover like, I don't know, like 2 of them or something, right? Wrong. We are gonna cover every single one of them. Yeah, that's right. It's challenge time. I'm gonna cover all 5 consoles, but I'm only gonna give myself 1 minute per console. 1 minute to tell personal stories, impressions, and so on. Why 1 minute, you ask? Because why the hell not? Plus, you know, each console should get, like, their share of time. I'm gonna cover the North American releases of the PSP, the Sega Saturn, the PlayStation 1, the NES, and the Xbox 360. But first, I have to make sure I am fully prepared. Ooh, all right. Let's get started. Okay. All right. And here we go.
The PlayStation Portable, or PSP, was released on March 24th, 2005, and celebrates its 10-year anniversary this year. The console was Sony's answer to the Nintendo-dominated portable market, and it held itself pretty well against Nintendo's DS. I was aware of the system before it came out, and was moderately excited for it. I wasn't really into gaming at the time, but was slowly getting back into it. I was still living with my parents, and when I asked them for it, a swift no was thrown my way. They thought the price was too high at launch. All of this happened during my senior year of high school, and one day in my Spanish class I saw a kid playing it and freaked out. Around this time my parents saw how obsessed I was and bought it for me as a high school graduation gift. My first game was Metal Gear Acid, and it was pretty weird, but in a good way. In general, I ended up buying a lot of games for it. That memory stick thing was really stupid though. Everyone was just screaming at Sony to just use SD cards, and did they learn? No. They didn't.
Okay. Alrighty, alright, that was pretty good. Alright, let's move on to the Sega Saturn.
Released on May 11, 1995, the Sega Saturn celebrates its 20-year anniversary in 2015. I didn't buy it at launch, and no one I knew owned it when I was a kid, and I mean no one. I even knew a friend whose brother had a TurboGrafx 16 console and he didn't have one. I did get around to playing it once when I was a kid. I was at a Miami Dolphins football game and Sega was there and had a Sega Saturn on display. I can't remember what I played, but it didn't really leave a lasting impression on me. I did end up buying one a few years ago and have grown to love it. My first game was X-Men Children of the Atom, and to be honest, all of the Capcom-produced Marvel fighting games were a big reason I bought a Saturn. A lot of the Versus games are near arcade perfect on Saturn, but some were Japanese releases. Thankfully, Saturn is really easy to import on. Just use an Action Replay card and you're good to go. I have to mention this before I finish, but my most prized Sega Saturn possession has to be Sonic Jam. Normally it costs around $150 new. I got mine for $20. No fucking joke.
Okay. It's alright. Let me just... give me a sec to catch my breath. I'll be alright. Okay. Alright. I'm good.
Ah, the PlayStation. Another console I didn't buy at launch back on September 9th, 1995. Around the time I was still getting back into gaming with the N64, I noticed a friend of mine's brother had a PlayStation. Occasionally they would show me some of the games they had, like Final Fantasy VII or Resident Evil 2, and I was fucking hooked. My dad noticed I wanted one and surprised me with a PlayStation and a copy of Tomb Raider 2. I didn't really care for Tomb Raider, but I eventually got my hands on Resident Evil 2 and was totally sucked in. Later on, I did end up also picking up Final Fantasy VII. My friend's then girlfriend's brother, who is now my friend, let me have his copy of Final Fantasy VII on the condition that I never try to sell it, and I still have it to this day and love the hell out of it. PlayStation was the console that ushered in my teen years. It was the system that exposed me to so many great games, ideas, and concepts during a very influential stage of life I was in. I love that console to this day and still play it.
Thanks, honey. Okay. For the next one, the NES, I'm sort of already told my story on. Already, there's an episode. You can click the screen, you see it. Just give me 1 sec. I can't chug. Oh. Okay. Whew. Let's keep going.
The Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, celebrates its 30-year anniversary and was released on October 18, 1985. I still find it really cute to see that my mom wrote my name on most of the NES games I owned. Remember when people wrote their name on their underwear? Well, back then, we wrote it on our games. Without a doubt, the game I have the most memories of playing on NES while growing up was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. It was a Konami beat-em-up that starred the Turtles and kicked major shell. They also made a Part 3 on NES and eventually a Part 4 on SNES, both of which were great. I still remember acting out all of the scenes in the attract mode while I was in the playroom I had as a kid. Man, those were really good times.
Okay. One last console.
The Xbox 360 celebrates its 10-year anniversary, and holy shit does that make me feel old. Released back on November 22nd, 2005, games are still being made for this console as of 2015. I didn't buy an Xbox 360 at launch, and instead was waiting for the PlayStation 3. In 2006, around the time I had just finished buying my PS3 and Wii at launch, I started getting interest on this Xbox 360. Gears of War and Dead Rising really got me intrigued, so I said fuck it, and ended up buying a third console that year. I bought the day before Christmas of 2006. Strangely, my box had a stain on it that looked like pizza. I ended up working at the GameStop where I bought my 360 from, and yeah, it was definitely pizza. Trust me, I found out. I wasn't really a huge fan of the original Xbox when it came out, so the Xbox 360 really got me into the Xbox brand and all the exclusives the system released. To this day, I really feel that the Xbox 360 is one of the best console experiences I had, except for those fucking red rings of death. Happened to me 3 times, and I'm considered goddamn fucking shit lucky by that number.
That's it for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed my my insights on all these consoles, and always remember, retrospectives be damned. I'm telling my